Then you have blur. It's a type of blur, but it kind of washes it in a certain direction, say 45 degrees. You see that it's blurred 45 degrees going from bottom left to top right, just like pushed across. Other than that, it's the same as the Gaussian blur. Mask generator, never used before, don't know what it does. If anyone knows something about these effects which I don't, then please post a comment telling me what they do. Be very useful, thanks. Media, never use these before, but they're always there. They're quite nice, I guess. I'd use them more for a transition if I was going to use them. Say, keyframe it 2 seconds, put 1 second, put the vertical range rate down to 0, and then I don't know. Let's have a look at it actually. Not too nice, really. I'm not a big fan of them, but it just gives this spotty effect and makes it. It kind of looks cartoonish, I think. Minimax also has these sort of spots on it. Never really liked them. Just don't know what they're really used for. But you'd only use a little amount of them if you were anyway, something like that. So just you can still see kind of what's going on. Mirror. I used this in Hazard's trailer when I really didn't know what I was doing, but the mirror just does what it says. Moves the clip on whatever point you want. Oh, let's have a look. Oh, you can move the angle around as well. Oh, that looks okay, I guess. You could kind of have the clip falling apart, sort of a shatter effect, which you actually get as a preset in After Effects, but don't know, you could probably make something out of it. Never really tried to use these. Usually I just give up and go for the effects that I know most about. Okay, newsprint, I've used this a couple of times before. One time I can remember using it was right at the start of my Xmas mini-tage. I just kind of had the dot size there, and then I just turn it right down after there. So, and then it just came in like that. Then just came up with a name and stuff. Pinch and punch, let's go on to that. Use this a lot. Use this almost every single tage, you notice. It kind of magnifies whatever area you want it to do. If you keyframe it, it kind of looks cool how it bubbles around. Also looks, you can make it look like raindrops are falling on your clip and all sorts like that. So it's pretty cool. Say if a medal comes up, let's get to a medal. There, I like to make it look like it pulses out a bit more, like into your screen. You can change the amount. If you change it to 0, that's normal, but you can go the other way, so it pinches and looks further away. I really like this effect. I think it looks nice and tidy, but I've overused that before. You just got to be careful not to overuse effects. Pixelating the clip does exactly what it says, just pixelates it. Let's take the pinch and punch off. And you can just increase the amount it's pixelated. You could transition that, but there are pixelating transitions anyway. The effect just lets you have more control of the transition than what it does on all these transition presets you get. Quick blur. Let's have a look at this. It's not even doing anything to the clip really. Oh, yeah, it is. Just a tiny blur. There's all sorts of blurs. The only ones I really use is the Gaussian blur and the linear blur. Oh, radial blur actually has light rays with it, so it just kind of looks like blur and light rays on up and on. You might want to turn the strength down a bit, but then just play that. It's quite nice, blurry and light rays. You use it for speeding up clips again. Saturation adjust. I guess it's another color corrector sort of thing. Never used it. You got a little graph and stuff on it, but never used it, so I wouldn't go into it. Sapphire. This is kind of just makes your film look old. It's in the 1950s or something like that. You wouldn't really use it in Halo montage, to be fair, but you can use it in other videos if you really want to. Sharpen. Never really use this. People say that if you sharpen your clip in Vegas, then it will look a bit nicer when you're onto when it gets uploaded to YouTube, but never really used it. I actually think it makes the clip a bit worse, but I don't really know. It's never really made much difference to me, so I never put one on. Sphere. I guess it's pinch and punch, but I've always just used a pinch and punch. But it's pretty much the same, I guess. Yeah, a lot of the clips are a lot of the effects rather are very similar. So you'll probably only end up using one of them and use that quite a lot. Swirl. never ever use this, but I know people do. I guess you could transition out and transition in with it and just give a little twist occasionally. It'd look quite nice. And then you can obviously move where your swirl wants to be. Yeah, it looked pretty cool, I guess. You could have it on the medals or something. Threshold, used this in Addict's trailer as a transition though. I've never used it as an effect. And as you notice, as the amount gains, it will just blacken out. Kind of like the Black Restore, but just has a bit of colour in it. As a normal effect, it looks horrible, but it's quite nice as a transition. Time code, I guess this is a timer in your bottom corner, yeah. So does it just play along? Yeah, it just plays along. Okay. You can pretty much work out what that does. Never used it, never needed a timer on anything. Abused Goat used that in one of his charges. When he throws a sticky strip in the air, it hangs for like 8 seconds or something stupid. TV simulator, use this a lot. I mean, really a lot. I used it in Addict's trailer. It's just an example. We won't put bad sync in, we'll just put TV. Just gives it that sort of, well, if your TV's messed up, it's that sort of look. Oh, why isn't it changing? There we go. Let's turn this down. And then you got your grill, which you can change into lunacy, so your line's going across, and then you can just keyframe whatever you want out of this. Your digital zoom. The line sync though is what you'll really see. So it crumbles, and it still plays the clip on the other side of it, which I think looks really tidy. And then as you play it, it sort of just crumbles, and if you keyframe this right, it can look as a really nice transition. All my friends who have ever seen it just think it's amazing, and it's really not that hard to do because they're all just presets. You got a little scanner as well, so you can keyframe that. If it just syncs with the music, it would look really nice. Unshaped mask, I've never really used. I guess it kind of just sharpens the clip, make it negative. See what that does. Sort of like an invert, which I hate, so I never use them. Legacy plugin, don't know what that is. It's never even affected my video, so I don't know what it does. Okay, last effect is the wave. I have used this before, but you only want a tiny amount of them really. Let's turn these down. And I guess you can just kind of give it a twist, keyframe it so it kind of just wobbles. It looks quite nice. You can wobble it in, wobble it out. It's transitions. Just flows nice. You can just put it in. If it syncs to music, it'll look brilliant. But otherwise, you've got to keyframe effects like this and the TV simulator. Always keyframe them, or they just look so stock and basic and put in. So that's all the effects. Well, all the effects I have. You might have more effects or less effects in your Vegas, but that's everything. And I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and please subscribe.